Have you ever had the experience that you're trying to accomplish a goal or finish a task and you're on this journey called life and you were spinning your wheels and it just felt like you were going in circles? Could it be the reason that that's your experience? Maybe you're living in the wrong circle. That's what we're going to explore today here on TC Talks, episode 2. I'm looking forward to an amazing conversation where regular people are living real lives. Well, hey, what's up? This is TC. Welcome to TC Talks, episode 2. And today we're going to talk about living in circles. It's like, TC, wait a minute. Now, I don't want to go in circles. Hey, I'm not talking about going in circles. I'm not talking about repeating a bad experience or negative experience. Today, I'm talking about living in circles. Maybe we have experienced that cycle of defeat and negativity because we've been living in the wrong circle. Can I tell you that the process of sustained life is not linear? It's cylindrical. So, TC, what in the world do you mean by that? Well, listen, just think about a tree. A tree starts off as a seed. A seed is planted into the ground, it's watered, it grows, it matures over time, it produces fruit. Inside that fruit, there are seeds. The fruit matures, falls to the ground, it deteriorates, the seed goes back into the ground and produces another tree. That's not a linear process, that's a cylindrical process. It's a cycle. That's how life is sustained. So if you're in an area of life, whether you're at home or on your job, and it seems that there is minimal life there, that it's not giving in, could it be that you're just in the wrong circle? Because let me tell you something, context matters when it comes to supporting habits. And we got to make sure that we have the right circle around us. Yep, you heard me. The right circle around us. Just take a minute, y'all. Who's in your inner circle? Do you have an inner circle? Do you have a support team? Do you have support people? Or you're a lone wolf, you're a lone ranger, you're just going to do it by yourself. Out of 8 billion people on the planet, you just going to do it by yourself. You self-made. You didn't need a mama or a daddy. You just poof, appeared right here on the planet and you don't need anybody. I'm a recluse, TC, and I just don't really. I got a very light social battery, and really can't deal with people like that. I understand all that. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just going down the litany of the litany of excuses, the reason why people really don't deal with other people. Well, I had a bad experience with people. People have had a bad experience with you. So we can't use those excuses to say that we can't have a circle. Everybody needs a circle. You need a support system. You need some people to push you. Sometimes you need some people to pull you. You need some people to uplift you. You need some people to challenge you. You need some people to tell you the doggone truth. When something looks raggedy, you need that person in your life to tell you, man, that's raggedy. If it's great, you need that person in your life. That is great. You need a circle to support whatever endeavor that you dare to embark upon. Whether it's school, whether it's ministry, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whatever the goal or the accomplishment is, you need support. You need support. Well, TC, I got an awesome circle. Well, that's wonderful. TC, I don't even know if I have a circle. We're going to talk about that too. But TC, my circle is bad. Well, we're going to talk about that too. Just understand, you got to have a circle. And today, we're going to talk about living in circles. And circles, I came up with some amazing things. Y'all see I got my iPad here with me today. I told y'all, it's not scripted, but I do got some notes because I just don't want to ramble and just take up your time. Since you came here to TC Talks, as a matter of fact, before I really get in this, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel that you're watching me on right now, come on there, help your boy out. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and you know that every new episode is going to drop every Tuesday at 7:30, and it's going to be a blessing to your life. It's going to help you out. I just want to be your friend. Can I be your friend here on TC Talks? Thank you for hanging out with me a little bit. So let's get into it. Living in circles. Circle, guess what, y'all? I found an acronym for the word circle. So this is the acronym for circle. C stands for character. I, integrity. R, resourceful. C, consistency. L, loyal. And E, encouraging. These are the characteristics that you need people to have that make up your circle. God knows you need somebody with character. Yes, you do. You need somebody who's integral. You need people who are resourceful. You need people who are consistent. Good gracious of life. Whew, let me just take a deep breath right there. Consistent. Can I say that one more time? Consistent. And you need people who are loyal. We're going to get into these in a second. You need people who are loyal. You don't need people shady. Sometime, back in the early 80s and 90s, we used to use the word called two-faced. Two-Face. Yeah, I'm a 70s baby, so I remember those times. And then last one, you need people who will encourage you. You don't need Debbie Downers around you. You're sitting here trying to finish school. You're trying to get a business off the ground. You try to apply for a promotion and trying to raise a family, trying to buy a house, whatever it is. And you got folks, I don't know about all that. No, you need to get those jokers away from you as fast as you possibly can. Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? If they can't encourage you, then they don't need to be close to you. Yeah, you don't just need to have somebody's critique. They need to be able to celebrate you at the same time and push you and motivate you and feed that internal drive that's on the inside. Yep, you heard it. Everybody has an internal drive. Question is, what's powering yours outside of your thoughts, beliefs, and dreams? Because those in your circle are part of that power plant too. You heard me. Those who are in your circle are part of your internal drive's power plant. They help to fuel you and to push you and to motivate you to accomplish what you've set out to accomplish. All right, let's get into these acronyms, y'all. Let's get into these acronyms real quick. Circle. Say it with me. Circle. Circle. I like it. I like it. Here it is. C, character. It's a key trait, y'all. It is a key trait. Character. You don't want anybody around you that you always got to keep second guessing who they are. That's too much energy. It is too much energy. You got to put your energy in the crate of creativity so you can continue to do what you're trying to do. So you continue to be who you're designed to be and not sitting around using that energy that's necessary to drive you and fuel you, trying to figure out who they are. No, that's too much. That's too much. Character. It's moral strength. Here are a couple of things, y'all. They act with honesty. They act with honesty even when nobody is watching. You've heard that. Character is who you are when nobody's around. That's absolutely a true statement. That's absolutely a true statement. They display respect and fairness when you interact with them. So they respect you and they're fair when you have interactions with. You can't, God Almighty, if they don't respect you, how in the world did they make it to your inner circle? And when I mean respect, right, I'm not talking about like they talk down to you and that's a part of it. But normally when people talk about disrespect, that's kind of what it is. I'm not talking about that type of blatant disrespect. I'm talking about the respect when you call them, they don't call you. When you text them, they don't text you. When you invite them, they don't show up. But when they invite you, you show up. Let me tell you something. Like, this is a two-way street. It's a two-way street. And that's a part of their character. If they always got an excuse as to why they can't come, why they can't do, and all that kind of stuff, and this is supposed to be a part of your inner circle, then I question the choice or the seat that they have in your inner circle, because that's a character flaw. If they can't respect you, I'm talking about that type of respect. I'm not talking about the name calling and the blatant disrespect. I'm talking about the subtle disrespect where they're not there. They always got an excuse that, oh, I wish I could be there. You ever heard that one? I wish I could be there. Well, if you wish you wanted to be, you would have been there. Now, despite sickness and all that kind of stuff, I get that. But that's just an excuse, to make them feel better. And hopefully that you will accept it. But on today, I want you to say, I ain't gonna no longer accept that. That's straight foolishness. You're supposed to be my boy, you're supposed to be my girl, and you can't show up to some of the biggest moments of my life. Come on now. And you in my inner circle? Yeah, that's a part of character. And watch this. And to stand firm on the values and principles. Y'all should have the same shared values and principles. And we stand firm on that. We're not swayed by the circumstances that happen. We might disagree on something, but guess what? We're going to be able to go have a Starbucks and get a cup of coffee and sit down and have brunch or lunch or dinner. We're not going to let the circumstance, dictate the value of our relationship. Is that good, y'all? It's good to me. And then last one, man, you gain trust from that individual by them doing what's right. Yeah. Not what's easy. They do what's right, not what's easy. Have you ever had a disagreement with somebody that you've been close to, and you realize you might have been right in the situation, but did you want to win the fight, or did you want to keep the relationship? So sometimes being quiet and apologizing and getting an understanding, sometimes it's not easy. But you see the value that's greater, so you know it was right. Even though it wasn't the easiest thing for me to do, I know this is right because I value this relationship. Yeah. See, that's character. Character. Second one is, man, I'm just on the second one. Integrity. Integrity. Wholeness and trustworthiness. You need somebody with you that's 10 toes down, no matter what. They with you. Now, they correct you when you're wrong, and they stand with you when you're right. You got it? Yeah, integrity. They keep promises and honors commitment. Yeah, I'm an only child. Y'all know that? I don't have any natural brothers and sisters. I'm an only child. And so I appreciate relationships. I try to manage them to the best of my ability. I think I do a pretty good job. Well, I didn't say that. My friends say that. But watch this. They honor their commitments and keep their promises. Now, I don't want to put my good friend out there. Good friend I have, man, almost 30 years. And event that was coming up that honoring me with, and he called me and said, man, ain't gonna be it. I said, Doc, hold, wait a minute, bro. I said, it's 30 years. I said, this only happened one time. Now, I don't know what you got to do, but if you my brother, you in my inner circle, you're going to have to change your schedule. You're going to have to be there. Can I tell y'all something? He did just that. He did just that. Because he kept his word, honored his commitment. Now, if he didn't, were we going to fall out? Probably not. But I was going to be mad for a little while. I was going to be heated for a little while. I said, oh, no. But you know what? I didn't have to go through all that. They keep their promises. They honor commitments. Watch this. And they admit their mistakes and take responsibility. You don't need nobody around you that it's always blaming somebody else for the reason why they are the way they are, or the reason why they did what they did. No, take some responsibility, my friend. You got to have people in your circle that's willing to take the hit and take the responsibility when they're wrong. They're not always blaming you. Well, if you would have had, I wouldn't have had. Oh, come on, man. We grown folk. We grown folk. Everybody say grown folk. Yeah. Here it is. Align their actions with their words and belief. That means they ain't saying one thing and doing something else. No, their actions align with what comes out of their mouth. My mama used to say something. By the time when they tell a lie when they crack their mouth. Boy, my mama had some sayings. God knows she did. but but you don't need nobody in your circle that when they open their mouth, that there is no type of integrity with the words that come out of their mouth because their actions are so disproportionate to what they say. You need anybody like that. And here it is. They did, good gracious, this is so good to me. They demonstrate transparency in motives and decisions. Have you ever had a friend, or maybe you got one now, that you find yourself every time you talking to them, they become like your personal therapist. You telling them all your problems, but yet they don't share anything with you. Time out. No, 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 no. This is a two-way street, my brother, my sister. Listen, I'm not going to tell you all my problems, and then when you go through something, you never talk to me. That's not a level of transparency that qualifies you to be in my circle. No, now if you want to be like that, that's cool. You do you. But if we're gonna be cool, and if I can share you my weak moments, I never hear a weak moment from you. Oh no, we got a problem. We need to change this position. We need to change our proximity. So if you still want to be secretive, you can be secretive way over there, but you can't be this secretive close to me. And if I'm sharing with you when I'm going through, and you never share with you only share with me your celebration. And I'm always sharing my challenges and celebration. Oh, something kind of wrong with it. Red flag. Red flag. That's integrity. You need people with integrity. R, resourceful. Good gracious. Especially, can I talk to the business people for a minute? Can I talk to the entrepreneurs? Can I talk to maybe some pastors that are out there that you got to have a team around you to be able to do what you do? Let me tell you something. If you're having a business meeting or a leadership meeting or a team meeting or a department meeting, and you've hired people or you brought people into your team to help you think, and the only thing they're coming to the meeting to say, whatever you think, well, it's your decision. We was waiting on you. Oh no, you can't have people in your circle who are not resourceful. If that is not draining, I don't know what is. Can I tell you some of the most expensive energy and real estate that you own? It's cerebral. It's thinking energy. It's mental real estate, and that's expensive. And if you don't have people around you that can think along with you, come on, even if you're not thinking on my level, so to speak, at least let me know you're thinking. Let me know you're thinking. Don't always say, well, whatever you say, I agree with you. Oh, no, that does not show me the level of thought life that you're currently engaged in. You got to have people who are resourceful. So, watch this. When they're resourceful, they find solutions in the midst of difficult circumstances. This is circumstances, y'all. Excuse me. I got my Invisaligners in, and they making some of my words come out. I told people the other day, I ain't drunk. I don't drink. You know, I love the Lord. He loved me back. Come on now. Yeah, I never like alcohol anyway. Ain't got nothing to do with church. I just never drink. You know, just transparent moment. Just hang out with me. I told you, this TC Talks, regular people living real lives. Look, but here it is. They find solutions in difficult circumstances. They don't come to you just with the problem. They come to you with the problem and 3 possible solutions. Resourceful. Because if you're paying somebody to fix a problem and they're always bringing you the problem and you fix it, guess what? You're wasting the paycheck. You're wasting the bottom line. Now you got to explain to the shareholders why your payroll is so high, because they're not even doing what you're paying them to do. Oh, that's another talk for another time. Okay, here it is. Make the most out of what is available. Now, I told you I'm from Greenville, North Carolina, but I grew up in a country town, Grimesland, Simpson. Hey, I own that. That's where I'm from. I'm born in Greenville by way of Grimesland via Simpson. Yeah, that's North Carolina. Some of y'all probably never heard of those places, but it's okay. You know, it's wonderful. But well, anybody know anything about that government cheese? Back in the day, that can of peanut butter, that when you had to have a can opener to open it, and there was about 2 inches of oil on top of all that peanut butter, and you had to have, you wasn't no wooden spoons wasn't gonna work. You had to have a thick metal spoon to mix the oil along with the peanut butter so it can have some consistency. Because if not, when you would try to make a peanut butter and jelly, it would tear your bread all to pieces. So why did I bring that up? Listen, you make the best out of what is available. Now, the only thing I really couldn't get with back in the day was like that. Well, that powdered milk, I got to my, I couldn't get. Well, thank God, I don't, the Lord has blessed us, and we came up. We don't have to drink powdered milk no more. I get 2% Fairlife, yeah, lactose intolerant. Oh, another transparent moment. I'm sorry. But anyway, man, they make the best out of what's available. You got to have people around that make the best out of what is available, because everything may not pan out in your timeline. There may be some hiccups, and there will be some hiccups that come along on your journey. You got to have people say, you know what? It's okay. We had a setback today, but don't worry. We're going to take this. We're going to work from this. It's not a failure. It's just giving us feedback for our success. That's how you got to have people around you looking at it like that. Not all the time, oh, no, it's feedback for our success and our future growth. They make the best out of what's available. And then they think critically and they adapt quickly. Man, when I tell you got to have somebody like that in your circle, I mean, they light on their feet. And when things shift and when things change, they adapt quickly. You can't have somebody who is married to nostalgia. Oh, I wish it was always like this. Well, it's not always like that, and it will not go back to what it was. So we got to think on our feet, and we have to adapt quickly, because maybe there's a major deal on the line that we need a decision by 12 o'clock tomorrow so that this deal may go through. We don't have time to sit on it and to think about it and to contemplate and to meditate and to go into a Zen garden to get an answer. We got to adapt very quickly. Now, sometimes that's nice to be able to do, but every situation won't allow that. Yeah. And here it is. They show initiative without waiting for direction. You got to have people like that in your circle, especially when you have a startup company and you're just beginning business. And, oftentimes, you can't hire the people that you need because of the working capital that you have to start up a business. And so oftentimes we hire friends and people that we know that they don't have the capability, but they have the availability just to be there. And sometimes that's not the optimal choice. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I've learned and from experience. And sometimes it's just better to wait. In an organization, let me tell you something. Do not be afraid of empty blocks in an organizational chart. Sometimes you just got to wait it out. You might have to put on more than one hat at the beginning, but don't worry about it. When you stay consistent and do what you know how to do and do it well every time you do it, those empty blocks will fill up quicker than you know, because you're producing, you're being productive, you're being successful. But you got to have people, who show initiative, that they don't wait for you for everything. That there are some things, especially if they're in the C-suite and they have a role of influence, they're managerial, they're in a leadership role, and they're always waiting on you. They're not a leader. They're just managing they're just a manager of your thoughts. Okay, all right. R, so C. Another C, consistency. Now, there's anything that could gracious of life, consistency. Now, on the last episode, y'all saw I lost 102 pounds. One of the key factors to the success of losing weight is being consistent. Key factor to relationships is being consistent. Show up every time that way all the time. Man, you got friends. Yeah, I hardly can't get it out. You got friends where you don't know how to take them one day. On Monday, they happy. On Wednesday, they are mad as a hornet's nest, as my grandfather would say. You don't know whether to pray for them, or you don't know whether to buy them a donut for a sympathy sweet snack or something. You just don't know, because they're just so inconsistent, and you don't know how to take them. You don't know what to say to them. You don't know if you can speak today, or you don't know if you can laugh tomorrow. You don't know if you need to cry with them on Friday. You don't know if you need to be so jolly on Sunday. You don't know, because they're so inconsistent. You need consistency. In not just personal relationship, but definitely in professional relationships as well. You need consistency, because consistency promotes reliability. I can rely on you. Oh my God. What does that mean? They show up and they perform with dependability. They're dependable, man. Man, I'm almost out of time, but anyway, uh, one thing, I'm a stickler for time. If anybody who knows me knows that I am a stickler for time, because I played baseball, and man, my mom would never pick me up from practice on time. When I played football, I was always the last one to get picked up for practice. She knew what time practice ended, but she would just show up at the time that she wanted. She was my mama, so I ain't gonna like I'm gonna fuss her out or nothing. But when I got old enough to control my transportation and my timeliness, oh, I was dependable. Right now, the people that are even on my team, they know you got to be on time. We start on time. We finish on time. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So they're dependable. Maintain steady behavior over time. Listen, we get together when we started out and we got together. We ain't have nothing. Both of us didn't have anything. Now that we've gotten a little better, we experience upward mobility. Don't let the house change you. Don't let the car change you. Don't let the marriage change you. Don't let the kids change you. Hey, look, I'm the same guy. Yeah, we matured and life has hit us, but listen, nice is nice. Money don't make you nice. Things don't make you nice. Nice comes from the inside. Respectfulness comes from the inside. Yeah, consistency. Be the same person day in and day out. And what I mean by that, I know we change, and like, I used to like certain foods. I don't like them now. I'm not talking about that. I know things changes like that happen. But listen, you when you get me, you're gonna get TC. You're gonna get the same TC. The same TC. To the best of my ability, I'm gonna be the same guy. I'm not gonna let what I accumulate change who I am and my interaction with you. Because it wasn't that stuff that brought us together anyway. Oh, come on, y'all. All right. And then build credibility through doing repeatedly right actions. You got to have that credibility, man. It's huge. And then avoid being driven by moods or circumstances. I think I talked about that a little bit. Boy, another old folks term that back in the day, my elders, man, that's a sometimey joker. You can't bank on them because you never know what you're gonna get. They sometimes they feel like a nut, sometimes they don't. Almond Joy got nut, Mounds don't. So man, being like that, it's just there's too much uncertainty there, too much uncertainty. And so when a person has consistency, it promotes reliability in a relationship, and it gives you a sense of calm, a sense of peace with that. L, loyal. They stand by you in both good and bad times. They support you. They defend you. Because you know why? They support you and defend you because they believe in you. Woo. Let me, man, let me stop because that'll get me emotional a little bit. I've never crossed every T, nor have I dotted every I. But I got some people in my corner that have supported me and defended me because they believed in me. You know why I started TC Talks? Because maybe there's somebody who's never had that experience of somebody supporting you and believing in you so that you can continue to do what destiny has called you to do, what the Lord has called you to do, what's on your purpose for you to do. So if you've never heard it from anybody, I hope through this talk that you feel the support, that you feel the belief, and that you begin to develop a circle of people around you that will support that and continue to defend you and push you and believe in you even when the chips are against you. Yeah, that's powerful right there, y'all. And then it is, they prioritize the relationships. And prioritizing the relationship, guess what that does? It builds long-term trust. Because, man, you know what? You with me. I'm with you. It builds long-term trust. And here it is. They don't waver under pressure or temptation because they're loyal. Just because it seems like the grass is greener on the other side. Now, Doc, me and my boy, we've been mowing this lawn together for a while, and it ain't changing. Me and my girl, we've been on this side of the grass, on the side of the fence for a while. Ain't changing. Loyal. I'm not talking about being loyal to a fault. I'm talking about being loyal because you honor that person, you honor the relationship, and It's the right thing to do. You're sowing those good seeds. So guess what? A good harvest going to come back into your life. You're loyal to people, you're going to find people that's going to be loyal to you. Hey, and the last one, y'all, is E, encouraging. You got to have people around you with an uplifting spirit. They got to be encouraging to you. What does that mean? They speak life and confidence into you and around you. You don't need people who are Debbie Downer, that every time they see something, for an example, if you, you sick or something, they come to you and say, boy, you sure do look bad. No, you need somebody around you. It's okay. You're going to get better. We're going to work with you. We're going to help you. It's going to be all right. You need people like that in your circle. And then they celebrate you without getting jealous. They celebrate you without getting jealous. They don't mind seeing you go up. They just was glad to be a witness to your success. Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to be around people who don't mind celebrating you, not trying to assassinate you. Yeah. Help people see their value and potential. These are the people you're around, the people that help you see your value and true potential. God, you need people like that around you, man, that can help you see your value and potential and celebrate it and help you to hone it so that you can get better at your craft and your gift so that you can be the greatest success that you were destined to be. You got to have people like that around you. Got to have people. And then lastly, have people in your circle that assist you in creating a positive environment. I mean, you want people around always complaining, always pessimistic. What's gone wrong? What's going wrong? What could go wrong? No, you don't need people like that close to you, man. Your destiny is too important. Your purpose is too valuable to always wake up and be around somebody or go to an office environment or go to a team or go to a meeting where the culture is negative and pessimistic. Context matters when it comes to supporting healthy habits and behaviors. It matters. You got to have people like that. Well, quick review, y'all, and we're done. Here it is. C, character. I, integrity. R, resourceful. C, consistency. L, loyal. And E, encouraging. Man, I pray and hope that this talk has been helpful to you, been a blessing to you, and I appreciate you for just allowing me to share and talk with you today on TC Talks. It's great. And I can't wait to see you on the next episode. But before we go, remember, live a life so that others can say that me and you, when they see us, now that right there, that is hope in motion. Until the next talk, guys, have a great one. Remember, subscribe, hit that like and share button, and I'll see you on the next episode.